Good afternoon, Rob.
Hi, Richard.
Hi. Rob, you're here with Easy Property, who are a relatively new entrant to the marketplace in terms of lettings management on behalf of landlords. Can you explain a little bit more about what you guys are doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we launched in September last year. I come from a very traditional surveying and property management and
Right.
estate agency background, but have seen the market changing over the last few years, and certainly seen it going into a position where needing a high street office just didn't work anymore. So we decided to go and see Stelios
Yes.
and have a chat with him about his brand and see if we could license it, which we've done.
Right.
And then come into the market with an online proposition, much like he did with EasyJet back
Yes.
in the day, where people get choice and can do what they want, how they want, when they want, and pick and mix the services that they need to run their own property.
Oh, right. So Stelios isn't actually looking after the day-to-day management of some of the tenants?
You could try and call him about a leaky pipe or a blocked drain, but probably you wouldn't get a great response. But no, he's not doing it that much at the moment.
Why does that surprise me? Great. So what would you say are the key differences in terms of your offering compared to a traditional letting agent high street?
So, I mean, I think one of the things that people generally, or a perception, is that it's online. You just get a call centre somewhere or other that you never get to speak to the same person twice, and it's this way. That's not what we do. What we do is give account managers to the individual clients, so the landlords will always deal with the same person, and invariably, nowadays, you don't go into the office, so there's actually no difference in service to the estate agent. We'll still pick up the phone, we'll still book the viewings if you want us to. If you want us just to pass the details across to you so you can actually take on the property, take the tenants around, do the viewings, do most of it yourself, you can. So I guess the biggest difference for us is that we literally get the ability to choose exactly the service you want us to provide. If you want to do work, that's great, you save a load of money.
Right.
If you want us to do all the work, you still save a load of money, but not quite as much as you would do if you did it yourself. So it's very much a pick and mix service. We can produce all the photos, floor plans, description service, the whole lot from that point all the way through to viewings, referencing, all the paperwork, the tenancy deposit scheme, the deposit handling, setting up the standing order, literally every single part of it, all the way through to full property management, but you choose what you actually want.
Right. Okay. And one would assume that there's a cost saving involved by taking your service as opposed to a traditional high street letting agent?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a service where we do all the advertising, so all the major portals, our board, our website, everywhere you could possibly think that a traditional agent would actually advertise. We then reference the tenants. We have, as I said, the paperwork service, which is the tenancy deposit, the AST, the first month's rent and standing order set up, and we're doing that for £60.
Right. That's
That's
60.
including 60, including VAT.
Including VAT.
Yeah.
Okay, that might make a few landlords pause for thought.
Yeah, and a few other agents as well, I think.
Yes, well, that's a separate question. Okay, so for someone perhaps who's used to dealing with properties away from where they live, as a landlord myself, what would you say people need to consider in terms of if, for example, their properties are 200 or 300 miles away from where they live? I mean, what would you say they need to consider in terms of the choices that they have in front of them when they are considering obviously taking advantage of an offering which is going to save them a considerable amount on their monthly fees relative compared to a traditional agent?
Yeah, I mean, we, I guess, are not only able to save them a lot of money, we do have a national coverage, so all the way, we've listed properties from Cornwall to Durham, in Wales, so we manage properties in Wales, and we've launched a management service, say, that is fully national.
Right.
So we can literally provide a service, guaranteed quality, guaranteed turnaround times, guaranteed everything all the way through, to the point where now we're also offering a service where we guarantee the rent. It's not an insurance policy, it's nothing else like that. I will write the check personally and make sure the rent's in your account within 15 days of it actually coming due, which is different.
Yes. Well, again, that's a very strong offering.
It's a strong offering, and it's not only just an offering, it's a case of how confident we are in what we do. because it's not an insurance policy. This isn't a case that you have excesses to pay, you haven't got to wait X number of months for it to kick in like other policies. If you want those, that's great, we can probably provide that for you, but if you want to go down that road, we're so confident of our own property management ability that we will make sure that that money's in your account that fast.
And one assumes when you talk about property management that you have a network of partners within the localities that you mentioned, so it's not just a London and South East based business, that you've got complete national coverage. So in terms of trades, you've got the network set up to be able to do all of the work, or you've got partners in terms of the day-to-day management of the physical property.
Yeah, that's right. But also, if you have a trusted tradesman that you like, that you've been using
Yes.
for years, we don't have a problem adding that onto our portfolio. So,
Right.
if it's your property, you've got somewhere in Manchester rather than London, you know that your local builder is really good and you rely on him
Yes.
forever. Fine, give us the details. We'll be the one that liaises with him. So, it just takes the strain and stress away from you, so you don't have to worry about it when you're on holiday and getting a phone call about a leaky pipe
Yeah,
or a
absolutely.
blocked drain or a washing machine gone down the tubes. We can make that call for you, but using the same people that you trust and aren't going to rip you off.
Excellent. Well, certainly, again, as a landlord who has a number of properties away from where I live, that ability to have a trusted source is absolutely imperative. So, Rob, we've talked about Easy Property and what you're doing and why you've come to market. Can you just give us a little bit more of your thoughts on the private rented sector and trends that you're currently seeing?
Yeah, I mean, the private rented sector seems a great market at the moment. It's very bullish. I think there's a serious lack of supply as ever, and has been for a long time now. So it's great to see some of the big funds coming in with some substantial developments coming up and entering the market, which, so we've been having a lot of conversations with them, and they seem very keen on what's happening in the future. Certainly, I think rents are going to continue to be strong. And there's no sign of that weakening off, and without, say, a substantial increase in supply, then we're going to be good for that for a long time to come. It's a big growth area, and it's one that we're very excited about.
Thankfully, Property Investor News are also aligned to the growth of the private rented sector, so we have similar sentiments. Rob, can you just obviously finally tell me a little bit more about how Easy Property would see their objectives in terms of growing alongside the growth in the sector, and also what offerings you might have in mind for the future?
Absolutely. I mean, we're very keen on the sector. It's one of the sectors that we're involved with. We just launched commercial property as well, so we're expanding into that, and then sales later on in the year. So we're creating the whole service for our clients, not just lettings, but it is a core and a bedrock of what we do, and it's something that we've always been very, very keen on. So where does the letting industry and where's the property market go from here? Well, certainly from our point of view, we want to get a trusted and national brand into the marketplace. It's something that hasn't really been around so far, and I think we've come in, and that's what we want to make sure that people can have a brand to turn to, a brand to trust nationally, and one place to go. So we're very keen on having that full range of services. Where do we see things happening in the future? I think the next 5 years are going to see a big move online. So for landlords to be able to do everything they want to do online, we certainly want to front that up.
Yeah,
but I think there's going to be other people that have come into the market as well, and give landlords more options.
Yes.
More than just the current, let's go into a high street office, pay a big chunk of commission, or go and list our properties on Gumtree. Now there's a lot more choice coming in for landlords, which is a great thing. Tenants, I think there's a lot more competition about not charging them high fees, which obviously is a major factor with a traditional estate agent's model. So I think there's a lot more transparency coming to the market, which is good for all parties. Obviously, from my point of view, we want to lead the way on that, and really come up with some interesting products, which I think one might be very good for landlords and for tenants in the very near future.
Well, Rob, given the backdrop to where we're standing, and some of your comments, I suppose I should end with the future's bright and the future's orange.
Most definitely.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Richard.